So I've been blocking ads on my entire Wi-Fi network using Pi-hole for a month now. And to be honest, my experience has been pretty good. So I went down this road because I was really very irritated with all the ads on my iPhone and iPad. That was the biggest issue that I was having. On Mac, you have ways to use ad blockers and all. On Android, you still have ways, but you might have to compromise your privacy for that, which is not a great idea, but it's okay, workable. But in case of iPads and iPhones, I was absolutely logged. I didn't know what to do, and this was the only thing that came to my mind. As of now, it is working pretty good for the ads that are displayed while playing games and doing other things in apps. It is perfectly killing all those ads, but for YouTube, it isn't perfect. It's hit or miss kind of thing. Pi-hole natively comes with a blocking domain list of over 100K, and I'm actually planning to extend that list to a million or two via GitHub. So I'll definitely update my Pi-hole and let you know how that goes in the next video. One of my Raspberry Pi is already running Pi-hole server, so I'll be using this Raspberry Pi to set up a fresh server on this. So this one comes with a screen, but I'm assuming that yours doesn't have one. And we'll skip the HDMI cables and everything else. We'll just go ahead with the VNC and we'll just hook our Raspberry Pi to the router and we'll figure our way out from there. Okay, sorry, I wasn't able to find the LAN cable, so I have connected it to Wi-Fi, but it should work with the LAN cable as well. Before we dig any deeper into this, let's have a look at the model that I'm using. So let's assume that my router ID is 10.0.0.1, which is in most of the cases. I'll try to give my Raspberry Pi this IP address. Actually, I'll have a look in VNC what it is. Let's say these are all the devices that I'm connected to. So these devices will point to this, and the router will also point to this Raspberry Pi for DNS queries. Pi-hole server will handle everything and do what it wants to do with it. So we'll not get any deeper in this. We'll just go with the flow and let's see what happens. Okay, sad thing. VNC was disabled on my Raspberry Pi, so I have to go there and enable it. So let's move ahead. I figured out the Raspberry Pi IP address from my router page. So it's right here. It's 10.0.0.1, 0.146. So I'll just copy it and I'll move on to VNC. I'll paste it and here it is. It says okay, connect. There you go. Oh, where is it? So here I have everything that I need. So I'm connected to VNC and I'm in Raspberry Pi on the screen here. And now I'll just follow the Pi-hole guide from Google, and here we are. Okay, install Pi-hole. So copy, and I guess space should work. It didn't. Okay, so I think I need to type it in. I think it should work. Okay, now it's working. So we want to say yes, enter, click works, no. Pi-hole is free but powered by our donations, okay, fine. Pi-hole is a server, so it needs a static IP address, okay, yes. Choose an interface. So we'll just, since I'm on Wi-Fi, so I'll just put this one. So this is the current IP address of my Raspberry Pi, which is 46, and the DNS server will be installed here, and this is my gateway. Yep, we'll just go ahead with whatever it says. Okay, so we'll just use Google. Okay, do you wish, we'll just keep everything recommended. Okay, recommended. Okay, okay, so a very important thing, we need to copy this one. If we lose this one, that's going to be a problem for us. So we have to copy this password because we'll use it to log in our Pi-hole server. So now it's done, and I suppose that I can access the Pi-hole server from anywhere. So the address will be same as my device, which is 10.0.0. I guess that was 146. There we go. Here we have the Pi-hole installed. I think it should work now. Yep. So here we have, and we can update the domain list here. It's right here, update gravity update. So now we need to go to our router, and we want all the DNS queries to be pointing to this Pi-hole server. So we'll go on to the router and just change the default DNS server to 10.0.0.146, which is our Raspberry Pi. So I personally do not recommend changing DNS server on your main router because it might create problem. It might block you from accessing the sites that you actually want to access. I have noticed this thing quite a lot. So I would recommend using a separate router if you're using Pi-hole. So just hook your Pi-hole to a separate router and you should be okay. And you just connect to that router, and everything that's on that router will be ad blocked. So in iPhone and iOS, you just need to go to the Wi-Fi and look for the DNS server there, and just change the DNS server to your Pi-hole IP address. So this is my Pi-hole server, and you should expect to see the dashboard to look something similar. So these are the queries blocked, these are the total DNS queries, the number of clients here, and you can actually look for the entire client list, which is maybe in settings. Oh yeah, DHCP. So this is my entire client list. So that is it, and you should be good to go. Let me know if you have any doubts or queries, problems in the comment section, and I'll be glad to help you out. And let me know what to improve in, since this is my first time doing this thing, so let me know how to improve myself. Thank you.